Hello students, welcome to the online lecture series of the SDSM College Palghar. I'm Vilas sir, and today we are going to start a new topic of the biology, it is the biotechnology. If we talk about the biotechnology, it is the use of the biology to solve the problems and make the useful products. So the most prominent area of the biotechnology is the production of the therapeutic proteins and other drugs through the genetic engineering. Biotechnology can be also defined as the development and utilization of the biological forms, products, or the processes for obtaining maximum benefits to man and earth. According to the OECD, that is the Organization for the Economic Cooperation and the Development, the application of the scientific and the engineering principles to the processing of materials by biological agents to provide good and service to the human welfare. Approximately 6,000 years ago, humans have been tapped to biological processes by microorganisms in order to make bread, alcoholic beverages, and cheese, and to preserve dairy products. But such processes are not what is meant today by technology. A term first widely applied to the molecular and the cellular technologies also, and that begins to emerge in 1960s to 1978. The biotech industry began to coalesce in the mid-late 1970s by American companies like the Genentech. It is a pharmaceutical company which is established in 1976 by the Robert H. Swanson or Hubbard. So the starting point of the biotechnology, it was from the America. The history of the origin of the biotechnology is as old as the human civilization. So the development of the biotechnology in terms of the growth occurred in the two phases. First is the traditional biotechnology and other one is the modern biotechnology. The traditional biotechnology was primarily based on the fermentation technology using the microorganism as in the preparation of the curd, ghee, soma, vinegar, yogurt, cheese making, wine making, etc. So it became an art of a kitchen in Indian houses. It was more an art than the science. So the time lapse, the people did not know as to how exactly the process occurs, the organism causing this process actually. The contribution made the several chemists, biochemists, and the microbiologist over the time. It could explain the mechanism of the process that happened at the time of the process of fermentation, and it is the nature of the microorganism which causing this type of processes. During the 1970s, a new techniques of recombinant DNA technology was developed in and established by the Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer in 1973. This technique was changed the overall outlook, and the technique permits to change or modify the genetic material for the getting the desired specific products. The combination of the biology and the production technology based on the genetic engineering involving into the modern biotechnology. There are two major features of the technologies that differentiate modern technology from the classical or the old biotechnology. First, the capability of science to change the genetic material for the getting a new specific product through the recombinant DNA technology, like the polymerase chain reactions, microarray, cell culture, and fusion and bioprocessing. Second one would be the ownership of the technology and its socio-political impact. So this conventional industries or the pharmaceutical industries, agro industries, food industries, they are focusing on the attention to produce biotechnology based products. Let's see the principle and the processes of biotechnology. Modern biotechnology is based on the two core techniques. First is genetic engineering and the chemical engineering. The genetic engineering deals with the alteration of the genetic material, which is a DNA or the RNA, while the chemical engineering deals with the maintaining the sterile environment for the manufacturing variety of the useful products, including the vaccine, antibodies, enzymes, organic acids, vitamins, and therapeutics. The genetic engineering can be defined as the manipulation of the genetic material towards the desired end, and the directed and predetermined by the using in vitro processes. That means it can be done in the lab, or the manipulation of the genes involving the repairing of defective genes, or it can be replacing by defective genes by healthy genes or the normal genes. Artificially synthesizing of a totally new gene, it is transferred of genes into a new location or into new organisms. So introducing an altogether new gene manipulation of genes for improvement of the living organism, which combining the genes from the two organisms, which altering the genotype or the gene cloning. So therefore the genetic engineering, it is alternatively the recombinant DNA technology or the gene cloning. Let's see the tools and techniques for the gene cloning or the recombinant DNA technology. Let's see first different instrument or the devices. The macromolecules such as the DNA, RNA, protein, etc. are synthesized in the living cell, which is vary in their molecular weight, solubility, presence of charge, absorption of light, etc. The several techniques are used to isolate and characterize the macromolecules. The size of the different types of the molecules vary, and therefore there are a molecular weight also may vary. The technique which is used on the basis of the molecular weight are gel permeation, osmotic pressure, ion exchange, chromatography, spectroscopy, mass spectroscopy, electrophoresis. These are techniques which can be useful at the time of a gene cloning. Therefore, electrophoresis is the separation of the charged molecule, which is applying the electric field, and it is applied for the separation of the DNA, RNA and the protein molecules. So the DNA being, it is negatively charged and it is migrated on the anode region. The small fragment of the DNA molecule move faster and thus separate faster. Let's see the polymerase chain reaction. It is a PCR. This polymerase chain reaction, it is another device which is used for the gene cloning or the gene multiplication in vitro. It is amplification of the gene of interest through the PCR machine. In 1985, Kary Mullis made an important discovery in the form of extremely powerful technique called as the polymerase chain reaction. It is a PCR. The PCR can generate a billions of copies of desired segment of a DNA or RNA copy with a high accuracy and the specificity in the matter of in a few hours. The process of PCR is completely automated, and it involves the automatic thermal cycles for the denaturation and the renaturation of the double-stranded DNA. The device required for the PCR, it is called as a thermocycler. The PCR, it is in vitro amplification of the desired DNA segments, which requires the DNA containing the desired segment to be amplified. The several molecules of the 4-deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate, it is a DNTPs. The excess of two primer molecules, heat stable DNA polymerase, and the appropriate quantities of Mg+2 ions, which are used in this technique. Let's see the mechanism of the PCR. At the start of the PCR, the DNA segment or the excess of the primer molecules, which is 4-deoxyribonucleosides or triphosphate, and the thermostable DNA polymerase are mixed together in a Eppendorf tube, which is small plastic tube which is used for the DNA. The following operations are performed by the sequentially as shown in the figure. In step 1, the reaction mixture is heated to the temperature of the 90 to 98 degrees centigrade to separate out the two strands of the desired DNA. This is called denaturation. In step 2, the mixture is allowed to keep cool, and it is approximately at the 40 to 60 degrees centigrade. That permits the pairing of the primer to the complementary sequence in the DNA segments. So this step, it is called annealing. In step 3, the temperature of approximately about 70 to 75 degrees centigrade that allows the thermostable Taq DNA polymerase is used to single stranded DNA as a template, and it adds the nucleotides. This process is called primer extension. It takes around 2 to 3 minutes duration. In one cycle, it takes around 3 to 4 minutes. To begin next cycle or the second cycle, DNA is again heated to convert a double-stranded DNA into the single strand. In this automatic thermal cycler, the above steps are automatically repeated at up to 20 to 30 times. So the end of the number of cycle or the number of copies of DNA segments are produced. So the machine performs the entire operation automatically and precisely. So the once desired DNA number of the cycle is completed, the amplified DNA segments is purified by the gel electrophoresis technique. So after that, the sequencing of the amplified DNA segments can be inserted into the cloning vectors, and now the desired gene can also be obtained by the gene library. Here is a picture of the PCR machine or the thermal cycler, which is used for the making number of copies of DNA